What's going on, everyone? So I'm really loving what we're seeing with the Lakers this year. It's just a very different vibe, very different atmosphere. You got the DJ playing, you got guys feeling good, right? I see some people are kind of split on the DJ idea, and I know people are kind of throwing jokes because JJ Redick said it was LeBron's idea, and people are like, oh, LeBron's already coaching, but not a bad idea. Just because LeBron throws out an idea and it's good and it gets implemented doesn't mean that it wasn't a good idea and it shouldn't be implemented, right? Like, you look at the 2020 team. That's what they were. It was all vibes. It was all excitement. It was, you feel good, you play good, right? Now, look, vibes and atmosphere and stuff like that isn't everything. You still have to execute and win games and, perform out on the basketball court, but you're seeing a lot of that. You're seeing this team. You're seeing what JJ Redick and the coaching staff is really implementing. The focus on using technology and the analytics and really getting details on all the various players. And you see like all the videos that are coming out of just like all the player movement and all just the different actual sets and actions. I mean, you're seeing more in the first 2 days with JJ Redick as the head coach than you saw in the entire tenure with Darvin Ham. And that's not an exaggeration. That's literally the truth. And you hear the players, Anthony Davis, talking about how good the vibes are, how everyone's feeling, how excited it is, right? But you also hear just the praise and the words for JJ Redick, right? That's the key, though. It's the words that are being expressed for JJ Redick, right? Because, of course, you're always going to have the general, PC answer. And all the players, like, no player's gonna be like, yeah, Darvin Ham is trash. Like, you saw in the media day all the shots being taken at Darvin Ham. Now you can say it because he's not the coach, but you saw all the praise for JJ Redick. But it's the things that were said. It wasn't just, oh, JJ Redick, yeah, he's doing great, like he's cool, like, I really like the vibes. No, it's, man, the work that's being put in. The attention to details, the preparation, right? The implementation of this technology, right? The way that we are approaching practices and the way that we are approaching the game of basketball on a nightly basis, right? The different actions and sets and things like that, right? Like, all of those things are again, it's in the verbiage. It's in the words that are being expressed. But you want that. This Lakers team, the plan going into this offseason and into the season was to implement just better structure, better infrastructure, better programs, and team building, and just being that premier organization. And you're starting to see that, I made a video earlier talking about just the aura that JJ Redick has with himself and the way that he talks about things and how he doesn't really beat around the bush. He somebody asks him a question, he attacks it head on, right? He relays it, right? They asked him about Dalton Connect. He relayed, hey, Dalton Connect has had his struggles, right? Rather than like, oh, Dalton Connect, man, he's been our best player. He's been this, he's been that, right? Like, you heard that last training camp about this. And look, we've heard Jalen Intrafino's been really good. We've heard Max Christie's being really good. We've heard, Jackson Hayes has been really good. But, like with Darvin Ham in previous years, it's like, how much of that is really true? Right? But it's because you never heard anything bad about anybody. Where JJ Redick, you're hearing the negatives. You're hearing the things that need to be worked on. You're hearing the things that need to be improved. Right? It's also having the understanding, like, hey, been day 2, day 3. Right? This is a process. This is, we're working it out. Right? It's not perfect yet. It takes time. Everything takes time. Rather than like, yeah, we're out here. We're going to be the best team in the NBA out the gate. Right? It's again, everything's in the verbiage. But to have the good vibes, to have the good atmosphere, to see just the interviews that these players are having after practices. And they're having grueling practices. Like JJ relayed. We're running an hour and 30 minutes and then going into, 5-on-5 scrimmages. And he talks about doing a lot of condition training, a lot of condition testing, doing a lot of testing period, kind of get these guys prepped and in NBA shape, right? Like, you look at an organization like Miami, in the Heat culture. And you think of things that they do and implement, right? Like, they have like a body fat test, and they have like, conditioning tests and stuff like that. And like, you won't even make the roster if you can't complete these tests. And how just kind of strict they can be in a lot of ways, right? Well, that's good, right? Like JJ Redick was even asked, like, you don't think that the DJ and all that stuff, it's distracted, all that stuff. Like, you didn't have that stuff at your time. Like JJ said, yeah, but we also didn't have these training rooms and the water rooms and stuff like that. We used to have to go, to local Y and stuff and get into tubs with other people. And, it's just, he's like, it's a different time and you have to adapt to the times, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with having a nice balance, right? There's nothing wrong with having intense practice. Like, just because they have a DJ, it's not like, they're in the middle of like learning stuff and the DJ just bumping loud music. No, like JJ said, it's before and after. Right? When they're having shoot arounds and stuff like that, yeah, you play some music, you have some good vibes. Like Austin Reeves even said, it's cool, it's uplifting. Kind of, put you in the mood to kind of get through this, right? Players are listening to music and stuff anyways, right? Most of the guys have headphones on and are bumping their own music and doing all that stuff. But now, you just have it blazing through the speakers. Like JJ said, we'll see if that is something we implement regularly going forward. We got to see who flips the bill, but it is something that, you don't want to just be this, militant, right? Like it's just players aren't excited and bought in, right? You feel good, you play good. You want to have, again, structure. You want to have, to some degrees, that militant kind of discipline. But you also want to be able to enjoy. Like, everyone wants to go to work and be able to enjoy themselves. It makes work easier, makes work better, right? And that's what this is for these guys. It's work. It's yes, they get to play basketball for a living, which is great. I myself and many of you would probably die to do that, right? Like, it'd be incredible to do that. But, it's still work to them. They still have to put in the hours and the time and do all that stuff. So to have the uplifting vibes and have some, good music and, having fun out there, but still learning and being more involved. And guys are now more open and more kind of excited. And it is more detail oriented. And it is more about, focusing on the things that matter and focusing on the little nuances and stuff. You want all those things. You want to have all that stuff, right? You can have both. You can have, the pizza party in the office, but still be able to complete and do your work, right? You want to be able to have the fantasy with your, your work staff, but still be able to work, right? Like, it's having that balance. And I think this is really good. And you're seeing it feels different, right? It does. Like, the Lakers feel different. The coaching staff feels like everything just feels different. And it's been such a short period of time, right? And, obviously, look, feelings and whatnot doesn't necessarily mean success, right? Like, everyone can be uplifted and in good spirits, but if it's not translated into success, then it means nothing. We got to be able to translate it to success, right? LeBron James, he's probably more uplifting and excited than anybody, right? Got a head coach that he likes and is comfortable with. They have this new just feel and excitement and whatnot around this team. And then he also gets to play with his son. And he has all that excitement. And he has all that to go. Like, LeBron's got a new wave of life here in a lot of ways. Right? He's coming off of a gold medal win. He's coming off of getting MVP of the Olympics. Gets to come in, play an NBA season. He has his son with him, right? He'll play a game or, a handful of games with his son, right? But, you got to imagine LeBron's probably in a very good headspace, right? Again, I mean, JJ said LeBron's the one that suggested the idea and they liked it. And just because LeBron, look, a good idea is a good idea. Whether it's LeBron or, Bronny, right? Like, whoever it is, if somebody has a good idea and it works and it's not something that is distracting or taking away from what you're trying to get across, and you can have, again, that balance, why wouldn't you? You know, a little DJ to kind of add some excitement to practice and keep things feeling good. Why not? Right? Like, again, I really like what you're seeing. I really like, look at these interviews with these players compared to the interviews with, like, when Darvin Ham last year. Right? Like, guys are smiling more. Guys are excited more. Again, the verbiage is so important. The way guys are talking about it. Like, man, you know, you see the details. We're getting good, hard practices in. Like, guys are really taking strides. You know, we're getting after each other. Right? This is serious. Right? Like, I love that. I really do. The vibes have been really good. Now, we'll just have to see if it translates to actual success on the basketball court. We're going to find out. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Are you excited? Do you agree? Do you think, like, yeah, the vibes are good, everything's good? Think it'll translate? Think it won't? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.